me ask you this. The firefighters that I've known, their modality is it's a currency in your business. Like the stronger, the faster, your cardio, all of that. Like it's a big deal. It's huge. It's huge. It is huge. The more physically powerful you are, the more lives you can save. And so you have physical training that's part of your training. Then they're training on their own time.
100%.
And so the reason that I'm bringing that up is because I've been injured before, and I'm pretty physical. Nowhere near a professional athlete is what I consider firefighters for the most part. Like if they're really into their game,
right,
they're athletes, and the game they're playing is a pretty serious game.
Yeah.
When that was happening, how were you able to create balance, or like have the patience to go through it, to heal? Because that's a hard thing to do.
It's a great question. Like I said, I just wanted my life back, and I feel like, it talks in scripture about, adversity, and it talks about hardship, and it talks about what comes on the other side of it, and I just felt like this is my path, and there's a message to come behind this, and there's a gift that is going to be on the other side of this. And that's what helped me persevere, because, I feel like I'm a young dude and I have a positive mindset, and I could make a choice to sit full fetal in the basement, sucking my thumb, hoping for the worst.
Woe is me.
Yeah. But what good is that going to do?
Right.
I better put my big boy pants on and get after it, because what other choice do I have? And I honestly feel like that translates to healing. Do you think cancer loves, boobing in the basement? Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah.
Do you think cancer hates a dude having a positive attitude, getting after it? He hates that stuff.
Yeah.
So
the Hodge hates it.
The Hodge hates it. And the thing is too, is that whenever I go through some sort of challenge, it's like, okay, this is an opportunity to learn something about myself. And there's always a message that comes through challenges, right? I don't want to be in a cushy cruiser life, because we live in that world already. And so either we give ourselves challenges, whether they be physical or mental challenges or whatever, or things just happen because of life circumstance. And so truly, like, the gift that comes with going through something like this is perspective of the things that really matter in life, right? And so,
for example, this perspective that you gained,
that all the stuff that we typically, concern ourselves with, oh, that guy cut me off, or that Starbucks coffee's too expensive, or like, my boss gave me a weird smirk. All that stuff that like occupies our brain and is concerning, it doesn't, in the scope of things, it doesn't really matter. It matters to some extent, but not really.
Right.
What matters is, honestly, is this, and love. It boils down to love, if you can just put it simplistically. And that's like friendship, brotherhood, loving your children, having that legacy, having a purpose, serving, all that stuff. And so I feel like
it is the wealth.
Yeah, I feel like God was like, this is the gift I'm giving you, is perspective. And so now, flash forward, 16 years later, the battle since then is to maintain that perspective.
Yeah.
Because you want to get drawn back into the stuff that doesn't really matter.
The illusion.
Yeah.
Of significance, the illusion of importance. This matters. It's a big deal. No, it's not. It's not that big of a deal.
No.
How do you do that? How do you keep that perspective?
I think you just got to be mindful is one thing. And then, another thing would just be to look at those times when you can put yourself through a challenge. And then just be mindful of like the blessings that are given to you, being purposeful and being intentional with taking a step back and being grateful. I know that's kind of cheesy talking about
it's not cheesy
about being gratitude, but like literally that, if you do that right off the bat in the morning, it just sets the whole trajectory for your day. Being thankful of the home you live in, to be able to do this conversation with you guys, to be able to serve, Thanksgiving Heroes meal kits to these folks, having coffee with my boss, like right before this pod, and just the cool things, and seeing my kids succeed, and loving on my wife and seeing her, how God sees her, like this beautiful child, and just all those things. Because if you don't, then you can get sucked in this, like, I think of it as a default of like, not having gratitude, taking things for granted. And it's super easy to do. And, for a long time, even growing up, I was always kind of tense about life, because I was like, whenever things were going good, I was like, oh man,
When's it going to drop?
when's it going to drop?
Yep.
You know, and it sucks because you want to enjoy the times that things are going good. And I've really worked hard on that of like, hey man, because I tell people like you either have just gotten out of the storm or you are in the storm or you're about to go in the storm.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I try not to live like braced up, like, oh, something crappy's going to happen, you know, and enjoy the moment when things are going well. But also know that like things aren't always going to go well. And how are you going to respond when things don't go well? Because you have that choice, right? Of how you respond to it. It's not the situation that matters, but how we respond to it. Like,
Exactly.
you know.
I love this. The carryovers, dude. Every single one of them. We bring in high-level individuals. The first thing on their list is gratitude. How do you start your day? Gratitude.
Yes.
It is a consistent theme across every episode we've done.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
One of the things that we do at the American Masterminds to develop and foster gratitude. Are you guys still doing it, by the way?
Yes, sir. I got a little off track with recent events, but back on.
All right. Well,
I just had a baby.
Oh, cool.
Like
Congrats,
3
man.
weeks today.
Oh, no way. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
beautiful little girl. Is we start out every morning writing, I am, 2 very powerful words, thankful for Bob. I am thankful for my health. And we start in the center. Thankful for my eyesight. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for, and then the circle grows.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my girls. I'm thankful for my abundance. And now it grows a circle, and we time it, a minimum of 5 minutes every day of writing, I am thankful for.
Bro.
And it raises your frequency to a point where it activates your mind to look for, what am I going to write down tomorrow? What am I thankful for today? What do I
Yes.
have in my life that is so good?
Totally.
And this practice or muscle, it's what you're doing is you're developing a muscle of gratitude, becomes stronger and stronger. And I believe that it deserves repeating again and again in the podcast, that this is a practice that we do. And I don't like to use the word religiously, but this is my faith. I believe that my blessing is to look for the things to be thankful for, because it's just so easy to look for. I think we're naturally predisposed to look for, oh man, I have to go to work today, and I have to pay the bills. I got to take out the trash. I have to. No, you get to.
Totally.
You're able to go to work today. Do you know how many people would love to be in the crappy position you're in?
Yeah.
To wake up in the crappy house that you're in the crappy bed that you're in, with your beautiful wife and your beautiful children. What?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to steal that, man. Because I mean, you know, I get in the morning and I've got my list of prayers for people that are in my circle that I want to pray for. We're really intentional with that, and but also I think we need to balance that with like praise, know, and I think that's gratitude, praise of the things that God's blessed you with, the things that I call it pull-throughs in my world. It's like because God's will and your will sometimes aren't obviously the same, right? But when God's will is the same as your will, that's what I call a pull through, because it's like God pulling through on something you really wanted.
Wow.
But then also conversely, you have to surrender and be okay with the things that aren't in your will, because He's got a bigger plan.
Right.
And
the unanswered prayers.
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, I could have easily cursed God for getting diagnosed with cancer, but I didn't feel like it was fair, because of the sacrifice of Jesus, for my sins and who I am. And I'm like, how can I blame Him for this struggle that I have that's going to make me better when He did that? Like, what is that? So I'm going to use that in addition. I really like that because it sets a good vibe.
And then the second part of that, if I may, is that you have an actionable gratitude. As you're writing your gratitudes down, I am thankful for Bob, I'm thankful for Alec, I'm thankful for Topher. I have to call, text, or email one of those people and say, Bob, can I tell you why I'm grateful for you?
Oh, dude.
If you can do that.
Bro.
It changes your world.
Oh, man, I get
really
the chills
does.
just thinking about it. That's rad.
Actionable gratitude, it will change your world. And it is so powerful, because it's a gift I can give you that you're going to give back to me. Well, Rob, can I tell you why I'm thankful for you? And then we all are edified. We all feel better.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've been doing for a while, because I need that medicine. I have to have that in my life. I need to share my love with you so that you can share your love with me. And if we can do that, then what can we accomplish together?
For sure.
Anything.
It turns into ripple effects.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, because that interaction happens. What are you going to do? You're going to the fire station, and it's going to perpetuate to somebody else.
Totally.
And 27 ripples is what they say.
26 ripples.
26 ripples.
Awesome.
And if you think about that one thing that you do can change your community out in front of you.
What I like about that is not only like, I appreciate you. Well, that's great. but you're giving them the why.
Yeah.
This is the reason why. It's like, I think about in the fire department, like if you're going to give kudos, be authentic.
Yep.
And be
Specific.
Specific.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Of like, you did awesome. And this is what I saw in you.
Mm-hmm.
And people need to know how valued they are.
Yeah.
And it's got to be authentic. And, you know, we're really uncomfortable sometimes getting kudos or getting praise or like getting awards at the awards banquet because we're just doing our job. But I think a part of us feels, you know, a sense of validation too, you know, like
I worked hard.
being appreciated. And I know that's one of my love languages. I told my wife, like, touch and words of affirmation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for her to be able to pour into that is huge.
Huge.
And dudes need it from other dudes too.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like,
I don't think it's a dude's thing. It's everybody.
yeah, for sure.
The baseball boys, because we were talking about before we came on here.
Yeah.
That's not normal rhetoric from the coaches. But I say, hey, good job. I'm proud of you. You did this. And it changes and you could see it on their face. I call them the feral boys because they don't mask anything, right?
Right.
But you can change their mindset in 2 sentences. Same thing at the law office. We have these young girls that work for us, and we could give them a pay raise, but that doesn't do nearly as much as, hey, good job.
Yeah.
You did this, and this. That is awesome. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, dude.
Our world lights up.
For sure.
As I grow older, I catch myself using that term a lot, and it used to bother me when men would say, "I'm really proud of you." I'd just be like, "You're proud of me?" Like now, I hear myself saying it all the time. I'm saying it to guys my age, younger. That's amazing. Well, I'm really very proud of you. Like it's pouring from my mouth.
Yeah,
I can't stop it.
It can almost sometimes it can be perceived as condescending too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really proud of you, son.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's like,
And I'll actually say that. Like I don't mean this in a condescending way,
Yeah.
but what you just did, that was cool. You
Yeah.
know?
yeah. That's awesome.
It is good. It is good stuff.
Rob, why would somebody want to watch this podcast?
Why wouldn't you? We have a good time. You're going to learn something. And by the way, it's awesome. You should click it. You should watch it. Thanks for tuning in.
Subscribe right now.